Okay, I'm over on the mill. I'm going to set up. The first thing I'm going to do, we're going to drill the holes in the pivot holes in parts that we made yesterday. But the first thing I'm going to do before I do that is on this part right here, I'm going to come in and cut this right here, this down to a square corner. Because right now I had an end mill that went around that, so there's a radius in there. So I'm going to set it up, and I'm going to take an 1/8 inch end mill, and I'm going to cut that corner. You know, that, because that is what grabs the push rod to keep the exhaust valve open when it limits the RPM. So, so I have the part right here that we did. Can't see it very well, but and then you can see right here. That's the area where we're going to cut. What I'm going to do is just put some black magic marker on a little hook, and then I'm going to come in and move over that way until it cleans up. I got to get that. Okay, it wasn't for me. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is, well, I'm going to get a marker here. Take a blue marker, and I'm just going to go in here. Try to go in there. It'll be the top edge that I'll be blending to. So that way I can see when I'm getting close. And we'll just put that in there. Clamp it up. Move you over here a little bit, because I'm going to change tools here. I got a 3/8, and now I want to go to an 1/8 inch, something small. And we'll tighten it up. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is over here, and I'm going to cut off that little tab. Try to cut off that little tab. It's on there without hitting the part itself. Okay, so I'm just going to cut off that tab. Slowly walk across her up to the tab. Close. Now, let me get the light over here so I can see. So I can see the black mark. Or the blue, actually, it's blue magic marker, grease pencil, magic marker. And we're gonna, actually, I want to come down onto this surface also. So we're going to move over here, and we're going to bring that down onto that surface, because we want to blend to that surface. I don't want to dig in too much. You can shadow it a little bit, but that's fine. Take that radius out of there, and I'll have to go beyond the part naturally. do, basically blending up to that a little bit of a straight surface up on the top, right there. That's where she touched. Okay, that's one. That's one side. Now the other side will be different because actually the height shouldn't be any different. No, the height won't be any different, but the on X will be a little different. So we'll just come in here, and first thing we'll do is mill off that tab again. So that I can see. Start creeping up to the basically I'm just blending to that point, putting a straight edge there instead of a radius. Otherwise I don't think when it caught it would probably just pop right back out without a straight edge there. That should do it. Okay. There we go. So I went and blend. So now I have a straight edge there and a straight edge there. Now I can either part it off and then loading it, or I can just drill a hole while it's in this form. I think the best would be to drill it while it's in this form, because they can just come in and put up against that. Or I'm just thinking which way would be the easiest way to do that. I have to that hole has to go, I can't remember what the distance is over. Let's see, 587, actually 677 from that flat, and 107 from the back out. So we'll have to try to pick up that flat. And that, I don't think I can get in there with my this edge finder. Am I getting beyond the radius? Well, that's, what's the depth of that? I gotta measure the depth of that somehow. Where's my calipers? Calipers and caliper that. Depth. If it's more than 100, it'll work. It's 130, so I should be able to come in there. I actually touch the back surface and then pull away from it and then come up to that flat. And that ought to get me there. So the first thing I want to do is pick up that back edge. The vice draw edge. So switch. I hope you're following me because it might be confusing, but I do. Put this cutter away so I don't lose it. And put the 1/2-inch collet back in. Put my edge finder in. I don't wrench tighten it, I just hand tighten it when I put the edge finder in. There's no need to wrench tighten it, really. Down, move in till it touches. Right there. Oop. Swing it up. And zero my Y. Go in 100. And I'm going to zero it again. And I'm going to get some different parallels. Brush the chips out. Parallels just a little lower. Give me a little more clamping. I think I need two, I only need one. Alright, now we have our Y set. And what we want to do is we want to come in and I want to come in and touch this back surface and then move away from it and then move on my X until I touch the hook or the flat little area. That should get me there. So the first thing I want to do is come in and touch the back surface right there. I'm just going to move away from it till it goes out. And then come over and touch. So I'm going to zero my X, and I'm going to do it one more time. Just I'm going to move it up a little bit and do it one more time. Just make sure I get the same thing. Touch the back, move it away till it just goes out, then come over to the flat. I might not have moved away far enough. See, I don't want to move away too far because it's only 130, so I got 30 thou to play with, within a half thou. So just move over 100. Zero. Okay, so now if I move my Y to 107. 107. And move my X to... I sure like this readout. It saves a lot of moving the dials around and reading the dials. 677. 677 right there. That's where the hole goes. All right. Put my little all-brake chuck in there. Put my little protector on my edge finder. And we'll get the all-brake chuck in there. My little one. Well, it's not really little. Let's see, where did I have it last? Oh yeah, I had it over here. I had it over here because I was going to drill the holes on the NC and I didn't. So there we go. And tighten that up. And that hole is supposed to be a 93 valve diameter. So I'm taking the center drillet. And then drill it. And I think I'm going to do the reaming after I part it off. So, and reaming the reamer will follow the hole. So I'll just hold it and let it float around and then ream it. All right, so we got our Y still set. I'm going to flip it over, turn it around. And then to pick up the X, I'm going to do the same thing as what I just done. I'm going to come in and touch, back away, come over there and touch. See what it is I got 30 thou larger than the diameter, than half the diameter. So that puts it the center line 30 thou in. So I got 30 thou that I can move away and still touch the high point on that diameter. I hope that makes sense to you. So we'll just move over here, move in, come down, come in and touch. Brush the chips. There's a chip hanging in there. Don't want to pick that up. All right. I think it's clean now. Come in and touch. And then move away till it just goes out. And then move over and touch. Yep, it's still right there. Right there. I'm going to zero my X. And I'm going to back over here and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to come in and touch. Move it away until it just goes out. Move it over here. And now I'm moving on my X again. Did not. Yep. I gotta get it again. Again, not for me. Oh well. It's fun when you're waiting for a call. Alright, move in, touch, move away, and I'll come back over and touch. I'm within 1/10 of last touch, so I'm going to call that good. Move over 100. And I'm going to zero that. Take my edge finder out. move over 677 on X. 677. And then 107 on Y. 107. Put my drill chuck back in. And center drill. Drill. Okay, that's the holes in those. So now I'm going to take and the next thing I'm going to do is take and just part them off. I'm going to get my tool that I use. I call it a woodruff tool. It's a key seat cutter. And I think it's a half inch shank, or is it 3/8? But I'm going to come over here and go down the width of the cutter, and then go down the width of that part. It's a thinner one. It's actually I want to say 50 thou. So I'm going to come down, touch, and then go down to 50, and then go down the thickness of my part. All right. So move out, move over. Just gonna come down and touch, and then lock my quill, and move away. It might have to take 2 cuts, back side and front side. So now we're gonna go 50, the width of the cutter. And then the thickness of that is supposed to be 187, I believe. Well, I don't see it offhand, but that's what I'm gonna make it. 187. So there we go. Try to get you to where you can actually see. We'll get it to this side, maybe. How's that? How's that for light? Can never figure out where to actually put the light to where it'll kind of show you what I'm doing. All right, here we go. Here we go. First, it's going to cut off this tab. Should get my squirt bottle. To move away, I was actually hitting the neck of the cutter. the inside. Alright, I'm going to try to see if I can get these little blocks off of there first before I go any further. I actually should have went up just a little bit. I'm thinking I'm just a tad too low. Let me see if I can get this one off of there. The whole thing is actually wiggling, except for up here. Okay, I'm going to drop it just about 3 hours. Let's see if I can. Tool's just not quite big enough in diameter to reach through. Back out of there. Huh. You know, actually, I should have took a, when I was doing this profile, I should have took a cut right across too. There it goes. If I'd had the height set the right distance, I was just a few thousandths beyond where I should have been. So that means I'll have to sand it a little bit, maybe. Well, that's one. Let's go to the other side. I'm going to have to move the tripod back here a little bit. Put that with a file. Around the other side. Pump it up. I'm going to drop it. If that's a little narrow, it doesn't really affect it too much because it's just going to slide in between some forks, so it should be okay. And let's see if we can get this first tab off. one came off. And now I can go back in there. I just kind of ramped out there. So now we can go to the other side. Here. Yeah, piece of cake. Piece of cake. Still left a couple thou is all, but looks good to me. Deburr it up and it'll be just fine. So we got those two cut out. Like I say, just deburr them up a little bit and actually I'll just take it on some emery paper and polish it down to, let's just see what the width is. Supposed to be 187. Yeah, see, I was at 190. 3 thou on this one. And that one's about 94, so so I could have dropped it a little more, but they'll be okay. So I gotta go. I'll be back.